Good evening. My name's Tom McMahon, and I'm the executive director of the Berean Call. And it's been our privilege, really an excited privilege, to sponsor retired General Shimon Erem. And I'd like to briefly explain why we want you to hear him. First of all, we're greatly concerned about the rise of anti-Semitism that we see taking place around the world today. Prejudice against Jewish people is also growing in the U.S., where increasing numbers see our country's policy of support for Israel as harmful to our national welfare. Sadly, all it seems to take for some people is they're having to spend more money at the gas pump. But in particular, as a Christian ministry, we're concerned about the rise of anti-Semitism among those who profess to be Christians. Not too long ago, as you may know, the Presbyterian Church USA voted to divest their investment funds from companies doing business with Israel. The World Council of Churches followed suit, recommending that their member denominations likewise withdraw investments connected to Israel because of what they erroneously regard as the Israeli occupation of Palestinian land. Even among some very influential evangelical Christians, there's a teaching called replacement theology. And basically, if you haven't heard that before, it's a belief that the church has replaced Israel as the chosen people of God. And down through church history, this unbiblical, anti-Jewish doctrine has been the leaven of many evils, the most infamous, of course, being the Holocaust. For those of you not familiar with these things, we have a book out at our table out front titled Judgment Day, Israel, Islam, and the Nations, that provides abundant information and documentation regarding our concerns. We also have a couple of very informative DVDs. One such DVD is Lest We Forget, which is a powerfully moving reminder of the Holocaust. We have another DVD called Israel, Islam, and Armageddon, which puts anti-Semitism and the recent rise of Islam in biblical perspective. Dave Hunt's book, Judgment Day, by the way, has a strong endorsement from the man it's my privilege to introduce. This is one of the most humble men I have ever met. And I want to give you some biographical information, which he won't tell you, okay? So I'm going to give you some excerpts from it. As a young officer in the Jewish Brigade of the British Army during World War II, he learned firsthand about the horrors of Nazi death camps. What he witnessed changed his life forever. Back home in 1948, just before the establishment of the modern state of Israel, he was chosen by David Ben-Gurion to be on a select group to organize the first official officer school of the Israeli Defense Forces. One of Israel's most decorated military heroes, he led the troops defending against Arab armies that completely surrounded the infant nation. That was on the very day in 1948 that Israel gained United Nations recognition as an independent state. General Erem has fought in virtually every war in the nation's history, including the Sinai Campaign, the 1967 Six-Day War, and the Yom Kippur War in 1973. He is past chairman of the Council of Israeli Organizations. He serves or has served on the executive boards of the directors of the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, the Anti-Defamation League, the Pacific Region, the Zionist Organization of America, and the Jewish Institute for National Security Affairs. He's past president of the B'nai B'rith District 4. He's also former chairman of Friends of the Israeli Defense Forces and is founder and president of the Promoting Israel Education Fund and the Israel Christian Nexus. He's dedicated himself to building bridges between Israel and the Jewish and Christian communities, as well as with top government officials here in the U.S. and around the world. Now, one last side note, not found in his biography that I learned from his friends, the Evans. It seems his body contains so much shrapnel from his war experiences that the last place you want to be behind him is going through airport security. Legend has it that he sets off alarms from as far away as the parking lot. Now, that's a legend, and he's going to dismiss that right away, which is the wonderful, gracious, and humble man that he is. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shimon Erem.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Before Christmas and New Year, we have always Thanksgiving. And I want to make my Thanksgiving here. You prefer to be here, and I think for a good reason. The reason is that it's beyond Israel. We have a very serious war going on in the world, a war which affects every one of you, affects you as a community. And I mean the war of terrorism and the war of Islamism, which wants to invade the world and control the world. And I will speak on both of them. But before this, let me say a few words about the state of Israel. The Holy Land, as we all know, was a desolated country until the end of the 19th century and until actually the end of World War I, about 80 years ago. Completely desolated. Mark Twain, who visited the Holy Land, said, "It's desolated. There's nothing there."
For more information about the Berean Call and a free subscription to our monthly newsletter, contact us at P.O. Box 7019, Bend, Oregon, 97708. Call us at 800-937-6638 or visit our website at www.thebereancall.org.